In the month of March 1964, at the time that I moved here, there was one neighbor on the side of me, and I think mostly everybody else around here was Caucasians. And what did I do in March of 1964? I went around and tried to sell some Avon products for a while. Wasn't too much long afterward, I had a big surprise. I found out that I was pregnant and was going to bring my first son into the world after being married for almost 5 years. So I went over there to take this test. There was a white doctor in South Dallas. They did back there then what you call a rabbit test. You want me to call a rabbit test, where they test your urine and they could tell whether or not you were pregnant. So I had taken this test. In the meantime, I'm waiting for this white doctor to call and give me my results. I didn't hear anything. So a few days later, I call, and he tells me, he says, "Oh, I misplaced your number." He said, "But I called your neighbor across the street." And my neighbor across the street was 1039, and they was Caucasian, to give you the message, but they refused to give you the message. They refused to take the message to give to you. So I had to find out, after not hearing from him, to call on myself that I was actually pregnant in March of 1964, the same year that I moved into the house, and the first son was born December the 3rd, 1964.
Wow, that's a beautiful story. Now, why do you think that the neighbors across the street didn't want to give you the message?
Because at that time, they were prejudiced. They didn't want to be surrounded with the blacks. And I don't know how much long after that, but they moved. The ones on the side, they was a little friendly, but they moved. And the next thing you know, it was nothing coming into the neighborhood but blacks.
Now, tell me now growing up, I remember that you had a lot of friends around the neighborhood. Who was the lady that lived to the left of you? That was right here. This was
Miss Petty.
Miss Petty. So tell me about your friendship with Miss Petty. And then across the street, who lived across the street from here? Not the house right here, but the one behind it. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell. So tell me about your friendships with what did y'all do? What was the neighborhood like?
Okay, well, friends with the next door neighbor was okay. I mean, she had a child that was 5 at the time I moved here. And by the time I had children that was small, they knew her son was named Andrew. So they was little boys, and they would go in the backyard, and they would call, "Andrew, Andrew." They wanted Andrew to come out and play with them. Okay, but other than that, that's mostly all for Miss Petty. I mean, we were neighbors, but we were never friends, but we were neighbors.
Okay.
And the people up the street, the Mitchells, I had gone back to beauty school to get a touch-up course that I didn't, all I should have learned and didn't learn, they wasn't offering it to me when I finished high school and went to beauty school in Austin. So I met Miss Mitchell, Ora Mitchell. I met her there. Then when I moved over here and we were driving in the neighborhood, I see this lady out there. And I recognized, oh, that's Ora. I didn't know she lived over here. And so we became friends, the best of friends, up until she passed 3 years ago this month. We were friends for 47 years.
Wow.
Yeah, great friends.
That's beautiful.
She became my beautician. She did my hair. Matter of fact, she did my hair each time I went to the hospital to deliver. My hair was freshly done by Ora Mitchell.
That's beautiful.